So a big part of the first sort of stage within Act 2 is B story, and this is where I get to investigate the relationships that my main character has with some of the other characters, including, for Monumental Words, John the Vicar. They really explore each other's backstory and what makes them tick. Plus I also have to develop Peter's girlfriend, Kat, and her story. And by the way, she has the same name as his sister. And then we'll also explore that and how that happened. But the primary B story is the relationship developing between this cynical atheist and this local vicar. And this is occurring because of this investigation, this drive that Peter has to uncover this mystery. And of course, he discovers that he has this drive to do this good deed. And I've got quite a lot of space to explore that. And a lot of that is already written, so I'm pleased, and it kind of fits and hits the beats. But I still have to tweak it a little bit. Beat 8 is called Fun and Games. And this is just to sort of give a break from the pace of the movie a little bit. And lets us be a little bit more creative as writers, because we've got quite a bit of space to lead to the midpoint. So for Monumental Words, I've got some ideas again about Peter's investigation. It's because that's part of the why done it. That's the pacing. That's the mystery that he's solving, and he has to convince this cast of characters to help him. He's now realised that his mission that he's taken upon himself to fulfill, his good intentions, are to release all of these souls that are trapped in this cemetery that the church has damned by using these strange initials. And he has the code because he's found this other new addition to the cemetery going in with a different set of initials, which essentially means let God decide, whereas everyone else in there has been buried with burning in the presence of Satan, or FAS. So at the midpoint, which is the next beat, I have Peter finally convince this cast of characters that they should help him to achieve his task. And that, by the way, is ending on an up, and a midpoint should either end on an up or a downer, because at the end of the movie we need to do the exact opposite. So at this point, at my midpoint of the film, Peter believes that he's done the right thing and he's fulfilled his destiny. He can't explain it, he doesn't know why he's felt the need to do this, but he does it anyway. And that's where I reach my midpoint. Beat 10 is called Bad Guys Close In. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that some bad guys are closing in on our main protagonist. It can just mean our main character's world starts to fall apart. Now, I've actually got elements of both happening here. The bad guys are closing in because he's now released these souls. They're now roaming our world and they're getting up to mischief. But also, his obsession with this mission of his is affecting his relationship with his girlfriend. It's affecting his job. We uncover that the vicar isn't perfect, and he sort of has his own indiscretions to face, his own sins. We also encounter some of the more supernatural elements that are in the film, which makes our main character start to question whether or not he's made the right choice in his actions, his good intentions. Is the road to hell really paved with good intentions? And this is kind of, again, the element of the story now where I can start to twist things a little bit and really bring in the supernatural elements. Next beat, number 11, is All Is Lost. We take the main character to a really dark place, and people are now starting to die, including, unfortunately, one of the main characters. And really, Peter is at a loss. He doesn't know what to do. 12 is called Dark Night of the Soul. And this is where our main character really thinks, I'm screwed. There's nothing I can do. I don't know what I've done, and I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. And we have to convey that in our screenplay and in the movie, because the audience has to believe that the main character is in massive peril, and they can't see how he's going to get out of this. Now, at this point, I introduce a new character to give it a bit of a rocket boost into Act 3. And this is a Catholic priest now who's on the scene, who seems to have the answers. And certainly beat 13, which is my break into Act 3, I kind of have to set up, well, this is what we need to do to get out of this situation. This malevolent entity, or this demonic force, is now roaming our world, Not only that, but you've equipped him with an army by releasing all the other souls in the cemetery. But there is a way out. It's not going to be easy, but I know what we need to do. The 14th beat is the finale. Now obviously it's blank. Now I know in my head what I need to happen. I even have dialogue ideas. I mean, the characters are talking in my head every single day. And I know the mythos that I've created, how I'm going to unravel this menace. I know what needs to be done. I know what the characters need to do to send this force back to their own world. And then the final beat, of course, is the final scene. This is what I'm going to leave the audience with at the end of the movie. Again, I know what I want to do, and it's a bit of a twist, but it's closely linked to my opening scene. They're supposed to be counterbalanced, or counterweights, or the opposite, a yin and a yang, but I got an idea for a twist there, so I'm going to try that out. I might try a few different versions. But basically, that's it. That's the 15 beats of my movie. Sounds quite simple, but of course, the art is going to be in connecting up each of my scenes and my ideas, making sure that I still hit those beats. It's going to need a lot of editing and a lot of work, but this is the exciting stuff now. I can start to write and flesh out my ideas, and what I'm doing is I'm focusing on different scenes now. So I've got my 50 minutes that are already written, even though I know I'm going to shuffle things around, and I'm now going off and saying, well, do you know what, I know I'm going to do something here, so I'm going to go off and write that scene now and see where that dialogue takes me and where it takes the characters. So great stuff. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.